back to the Soda Popcast, broadcasting from the deep underground top secret nerd basement in Sandusky, Ohio. The Popcast is a true story loosely based on soda pops, the retro candy, vintage glass bottle soda, and collectible cool stuff store downtown at 209 West Water Street. Like this video, share this video, and follow this channel. We need all the help we can get. And we got a great show for you tonight. We have a special guest, second of the season. This is Mr. Jim Lamb.
Hello.
Famous extra on the set of many movies in his career, and a school teacher at Port Clinton High School. English, I think, right? Mm-hmm. And a man of many talents and tastes of film and cinema.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, how's it going, Jim?
It's going great.
Good. He's been on the show before. If you saw our groundbreaking Once Upon a Time in Hollywood review, he was in that episode, right? I know you were. Me, you, and Runkle did that one. That was a great
Wow,
one.
that's going back a ways then.
2019, I believe. Yeah, it's back a ways now. So what's going on?
Not a lot. Getting ready to go back to school next week, so this would be a perfect time to do the podcast and talk about some movies.
Talk about some movies. Yes, we're doing our top 5 countdown. Each of us has our own top 5 list. And at this point then, I think we need Aiden's disclaimer about subjectivity of cinema. You cannot be wrong.
Everybody relax, okay? You don't have to agree with us. Now, is mine probably going to be more right? Yeah. But it's okay.
Maybe you can turn the comments off for this week.
No, we want the comments out.
If you want to argue, go ahead and argue with each other.
Just get
argue with each other. Don't be like, your number 2 movie sucks. You know.
I don't think, I mean, if you're talking top 5, I don't think any of them are going to suck.
Right.
You know, I don't know. I might have one that's going to be out in left field, but
One thing I'd like to say though. So to me, this is my top 5 favorite films. It's not necessarily the top 5 films that I think are the best. To me, there's a difference between favorite and best. Like, I'm not going to be like throwing in like Citizen Kane or, you could make a case, maybe some people's like favorite and they think the best is like The Godfather, which I've never even seen. That's one of the...
I've never seen it in its entirety all at one time.
I've never seen it either.
And now it's to the point where it's like people are like, it's almost like a point of pride. Like people are like, you've never seen The Godfather? Like, how could you never see The Godfather? So the more times people say that to me, the more resolute I am like to never watch it. Which is probably stupid because it's probably a great film, but...
Yeah. I think that's a good distinction. It's your favorite. It's not what we're trying to say are the best films of all time. So might have to change the background and change the title there because
I think these are the best films, but
it's your favorite.
Right,
We're not trying to
film.
critique cinema and acting and the directing and the story.
Like I'm not going to be talking about Casablanca or Dr. Zhivago or
which
anything
might be great movies. I don't know.
Wizard of Oz.
Wizard of Oz. Yeah. So that's a good point. Good distinction because I think I was thinking of it the same way.
Okay.
Is that how you?
Yeah. I was thinking of it as favorites. Yeah.
All right. Aiden, what do you got? You got Velvet Sky dropped this week, right?
A new issue, and let me just tell you, ladies and gentlemen, you're missing. If you're not following, you're missing out. You want to be here for this, okay? You do. This is like, for instance, if Stephen King offered you Carrie in his garage before it was published, and he was a nobody, and you could sit there and read and be like, "Wow, Stephen, here's a pat on the back."
That's high praise.
That's what
for
you
yourself.
could be doing. That's what you're essentially. You're at that vortex point in history right now.
Andy Weir, didn't he do that? The guy who wrote The Martian, didn't he put it out online first?
Yeah.
And then people were like, "Oh my God, this is so great!" And then,
oh really?
And he's famously got Hail Mary coming up, starring Ryan Gosling, and that was another one he self-published, and then it later got some traction. Now it's a movie.
Is that the one that came out first? Was Project Hail Mary the one that he did that with?
I think
The
so.
Martian?
I think it was Hail Mary. It might have been The Martian.
One of them he did what you're doing. He like put it out for free, and then people were like, "Oh my God, this is so good!" And then a publisher was like, "Who is this guy?" And since then he's had Artemis, The Martian, and then Project Hail Mary starring Ryan Gosling, The Martian starring Matt Damon. So Velvet Sky, maybe it could be someday Velvet Sky starring Brad Pitt or something like that. You never know.
Hopefully, that'd be nice if it caught on before he's too old to be in it.
He'll never be too old.
Never be too old. Yeah, especially with his new second stage of his career where he's the old guy.
Yeah.
So shout out to a couple people out there in YouTube land. Brian Staley, always a top fan. Todd Kramer, and Tim Schnur, our resident. Well, he's not resident. He's not living here, but our comic expert, and one other guy, Ichabod Crane, a YouTuber, Ichabod Crane. He left. We were talking about the horror movie last week, and he left a comment about High Tension. You ever heard of that one? It's a French film. Whenever I'm reading lists of the top horror films, that one does always pop up. So he knows what he's talking about. I've never seen it because it's a French film, and I have a aversion to subtitles.
Yeah, you have to.
But I might seek it out now, since we have a recommendation from a real live person that I know through the internet that's probably reliable. So thanks for watching and thanks for commenting. And speaking of comics, it's become a habit of the show to feature a comic per episode, it seems, and Jim Lamb is a comic connoisseur as well, at least back in the day. You read any, you get anything?
I'd like to, because my son likes them, and so it's a good way for him to read. But yeah, I haven't collected, for a while. But I did look up. I found like all the Secret Wars. I found the episode,
That's classic. So.
The one with the black suit the first time. I was looking for the comics today, and I found it's like nice. It's like mint condition, like bagged and boarded. What do you get for that today? Like $100 or something?
Something, man. I don't know. It's underrated, whatever it is. So we got them at 7-Eleven.
Yeah. So I used to get my comics down. I would go to City News.
City News,
It's
downtown.
Downtown. I think it's where Crush is now.
Yeah, I think so.
And gosh, they would have them like on the wall and on the rack, and you would go in there and buy them and like take them home.
That place had a smell.
Yeah, City News was awesome.
City News. It was kind of like a Forbidden Zone too. You know what I mean? Because it's always dark. Somebody's back in the back smoking.
I think there was a cigar section.
Yeah.
But I would
They
ride
had some
bikes
seedy
there.
magazines in there. The further back you went. That was a good old place, City News.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah. So what do you got?
So I brought for my comic tonight. It's Star Wars number 7. It's the first comic after A New Hope. I believe A New Hope was, well, back then it was just Star Wars. Was issues 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And that issue was the first one after New Hope. So like as a kid
This is good.
in 1977, and you were just Star Wars crazy, you were like, oh my gosh, like what's going on with the characters like Han and Luke and Leia and Chewie and those guys. This furthered their adventures. Because like back then, like you didn't have like today you can go on like X or the internet, social media, and basically see them filming Spider-Man Brand New Day. Yeah. But like back in '77, like I didn't even know Empire Strikes Back was coming out until it was like announced in the newspaper, like, hey, it's May 1980. Oh my God, there's a new Star Wars movie. Like, I mean, you would have magazines like Cinescape and some of those things.
But you were a kid. You didn't get to go find that stuff.
Yeah, and like, I wasn't going to movies all the time when I was a kid and like seeing like the trailers.
But the trailers didn't come out a year in advance.
Right.
A pre-trailer and a trailer and a trailer for the trailer.
You would have like, back in my day, but really there was like 3 screens and like, we weren't going like all the time. So when the Star Wars comic came out, basically, it ran between A New Hope and Empire Strikes Back, and it was like this comic right here was like Han and Chewie got into some adventures with bounty hunters, and then there was like a Luke storyline where Luke and the droids like were off on, I remember like that water planet and stuff like that, and then like Leia and the Rebellion had like a story like in the comic, but they do like the Han and Chewie ones, they do like 5 or 6 issues in a row, and then it'd be like Luke issues, and they would kind of like jump around. I don't think like, if I remember right, like I wouldn't read this and like a couple pages are Han and Chewie, a couple pages are Luke. I think they did like the Han story, then like the Luke story, if I remember right.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, there was like all those stories. Like I think in Return of the Jedi, when they talk about like the Bothans, they gave their lives to get the Death Star plans. I think that was like in the comics.
Oh yeah.
I think I might be wrong. So someone's probably gonna fact check me on that.
That's all right. Fact check.
But they had like all these like cool stories and stuff.
They are cool. That one especially, I remember. There's a big green rabbit.
Yeah, Jax. I think it's J-A-X.
They made an action figure of him. I got him down at the shop.
Yeah. And we have issue 1.
And we have issue 1. What?
Of Star Wars down there.
What?
We have issue 1 of this in the case.
Do we really?
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't think you.
Or maybe it's we have a Star Wars one.
It's Raiders.
Oh, is it
Raiders? Raiders of the Lost Ark comic adaptation number 1. And there is a Star Wars comic, but not number 1.
I got the Star Wars annual number 1. I think I have the entire Star Wars run up to Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I do also. My friend Brian Runkle, who we talked about, we've traded that thing back and forth. It was mine originally. I had curated the collection originally because I had a subscription to that for a while, a mail subscription in the mail. It came to my home. And so I had that run, and then I traded it to him for an autographed Merino jersey or something, and he traded it back for something. I think this is the 4th trade. It's in my hands now.
the entire run?
Yeah. It's in the box. We keep trading back and forth.
Oh, yeah. You ever get them out and read them at all?
Not forever.
No, not forever.
Yeah.
I have one of the giant issues. It's not that. It's Star Wars.
The
Darth
movie?
Vader's on the front. I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the movie. It's one of the big comic issues.
Where'd you get that?
Is it old? Is it
James
old
Flea
one?
Market. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I remember
It's a
those
frame.
big ones. I had a big one like that. I think it was like Superman versus the Flash in a race.
Yeah.
I think it was like a
Yes.
big one like that. That was sweet.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
I think, if I remember right, the Flash won by like a millisecond.
millisecond.
And I remember they were saying something about, like, because Superman has so many more powers, and basically all Flash can do is run, so they want to give Flash, like...
Gotta give him, gotta throw him
Give him
bone.
something.
And there was like all these rules where like Superman couldn't fly, but then like as they were racing around the world, there would always be like people that needed help, and they had like Superman would go off on a side adventure, so Flash would get ahead, and like Flash would have to do something, so like Superman, if I remember right.
Yeah, I'm sure.
That was pretty sweet.
I mean, yeah, what else you can do? You can't just have panel after panel of them running.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah,
gotta do something.
exactly.
So hey, since this is a podcast loosely based on a candy store, what's your favorite candy?
Oof.
We asked all our guests.
I would say this is probably a little bit unconventional, but I would say the Zero Bar.
The Zero Bar, the white chocolate.
Yeah, it's so good. Zero Bar, I can't, but something that can be readily had. Because I know you guys
Zero.
have zeros.
Yeah, we typically
But
have
Kit
Zero.
Kats, Kit Kat.
Who doesn't enjoy a Kit Kat? Yeah.
Well, most people probably say Reese's or Snickers, or
You know.
which I love. I like those.
Yeah.
Those are great.
Yeah.
I'll say Kit Kat and zeros.
Fine choices.
Thanks.
All right, so hopefully your choices in movies, top 5 movies, are similar.
Wait.
Oh, wait.
We forgot to go over some trailers. Most importantly,
Oh, no.
Eeny Meeny. The official Eeny Meeny trailer
Yes,
has
this-
been released. We are famously in it.
Yes, this is one of the movies that Jim is an extra in that we are also extras in. I want to point out, what's the name of the lady in the show?
It
It's the
is.
Margot Robbie knockoff.
She is the niece.
Give her some
of,
respect. She's the lead.
That
of
is a
Eeny Meeny.
respect.
Oh my gosh,
respect.
I know it too. Who's the dude that's like? He's Elrond and he's Agent Smith. Hugh.
Oh, Weaving?
Hugo Weaving. Her name is Samara Weaving. Samara Weaving.
Yes, I want you guys to
Samara
know that
Weaving.
we were watching the
This
film.
is so made up. by the way.
It's not made up.
This is one of those weird fantasies.
Oh, so not made up. She was
But go
checking me
ahead.
out. That's all I was gonna say.
He was wearing his famous
she
Cliff
was
Booth
right
shirt.
down there, and you know,
I
she
have a
walked under
legal
the
picture
thing.
of her.
We
Me
made
too.
eye
I should pull out
contact.
my phone and like
Yeah,
put it.
Yeah,
you weren't allowed to take
pictures.
But I have an illegal picture of when she was standing there.
Yeah, she was,
So-
and she walked on the thing. She looked up, checked me out. We made eye contact.
We
I
were
got her
told
phone
not
number.
to talk to her.
Yeah,
And
so
then these two
otherwise,
girls-
I probably would be.
I remember
dating
these
her
two
right
other
now
girls
still.
like ran up to her and
Oh,
started
yeah, it was
talking, and
bogus.
we were just like, what are these amateurs? It's
Yeah.
amateur
You
hour.
know, we respect the rules of Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, we're
If
not-
I ever see her, if I'm ever talking to her on a late night show, she's in the movie. I'm
wanna-
on Velvet Sky. I'll be like, we were in a movie together.
You wanna-
And then I pull up the picture. I took this picture.
No, but then you pull out a picture of me and she'd be like, oh yeah, I remember that
No,
guy.
and she'd be like, oh,
like,
weren't you next to that weird guy?
She'd be like,
I didn't know.
that guy.
I don't know.
Do you want to give the release date so people know when they can see it? It's coming up.
So it featured Sandusky. We were at the Sandusky
Yeah.
Speedway, and
Yeah.
if you watched the earlier episode of our podcast, we were talking about the food. Why this
You
show?
missed the point.
Why this show must have went broke? But apparently, they found another
somebody,
investor.
a donor of some sort, needed Eeny Meeny to be released on Hulu August 22nd. That's next week.
And all those actors
Or
are now
depending on
severely
what-
overweight from eating.
Craft services, like you really see like why film budgets are like, $300 million or something crazy like that. I mean, the craft service was just like unbelievable. And we're just scrub extras. Like, this was like a overnight shoot. And I was just like, I can't believe.
Like they could have literally ordered Cameo pizza.
Did they even get footage when we were there?
We saw some in the trailer.
We were like, what did they do?
Yeah.
I feel like they didn't really plan anything out. I mean, everyone was out there. You don't need everyone.
We got paid time and a half because it was an overnight shoot.
Yes. Yeah, we got paid.
Time and a half.
Time and a half. Yeah. I can see how budgets can easily spiral out of control.
Yeah.
Because there was nobody. Yeah, there was a full crew of 30 people and everybody standing around doing nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure the director has his like method and stuff like that, but we were looking at people and like, what are these guys like doing? Like the hair and makeup people are just kind of standing there.
They could have been the extras.
I mean, I'm sure that there's, they'd probably look at me and be like, "Why are you teaching like that?" Like they just don't understand my methods. But I'm sure the director has his process. I'm not putting him down, but I just couldn't believe like all the people that were on that set. And I was like, whoa,
So we'll probably be reviewing Eeny Meeny. Maybe the three of us again.
You want to go with your
Marty Supreme.
Marty Supreme. There we go.
Marty. I didn't know what this one was going to be.
You know this one? Mm-mm. Marty Supreme.
You don't know what Marty Supreme is? Oh my gosh, I didn't know what it was going to be. I heard the rumors though, as you do, as these old heads were talking about earlier. We didn't have it. We didn't have the technology back in the day. Know about a movie when it's coming out. But now we do. And they were talking about this Marty Supreme movie with Timothée Chalamet, who is the lead of Dune, and he's in Interstellar for all of a minute, and other stuff obviously. But he is playing the titular character Marty Supreme, table tennis legend, and it's I thought it was going to be a little more silly, but it really looks like an inspirational piece.
When you told me about it, I thought it was going to be like some sort of weird,
like Blades of Glory, not as goofy, but
right.
In that comedy. No, it's like a drama, an inspirational sports drama.
Does he have to like take on Forrest Gump or something like that?
No, but you know what I was thinking right away? I was like, I wonder if they'll have Bruce Lee show up with nunchucks and play him for the final. That would make Marty Supreme. Whatever's better than Supreme.
What do you mean? Like, he's got to hit a ping pong past Bruce Lee's nunchucks?
You ever see that footage?
Haven't you seen the footage of Bruce
that's fake, that he thinks is real?
I don't think it's fake. This is before they were faking stuff on the internet.
I think it's one of the first things they fake.
Why would that be the first thing they fake?
How could you do that? I mean, Bruce Lee
I don't know
is awesome, I get it.
How could they do that? No one knows. It has to be real.
All right.
Anyways, Bruce Lee played table tennis world championship with nunchucks and won. But Marty Supreme is about an American dreamer who wishes to go overseas and become the best at table tennis.
Otherwise known as ping pong.
Yeah, just to get confused, but we'll use the technical term here. And it really looks great. Like I said, Timothée Chalamet.
Fun 70s toy fact for you. The game Gnip Gnop, I just learned this. Do you remember Gnip Gnop? Did you ever have that?
Yeah, I don't know, but I remember it.
You push that. It's a stupid game. But it's ping pong spelled backward. I never realized that until somebody came in the shop, because I got one down there right now, and they're like, "You know what that is spelled backwards, don't you?" And I said, "No, I don't. It's ping pong.
Ping pong.
Gnip Gnop."
Yeah.
So yeah, everybody seen Marty Supreme.
Have you guys talked about the trailer yet for The Long Walk?
We did. We saw your comment and brought it up.
Yeah, we saw your comment.
Yeah, I can't wait for that.
Thanks for commenting. Yeah, me neither. Good one.
The trailer, I think, looks good.
Yeah.
I'm always like, how are they going to make a movie about that? They just walk.
I don't know.
I guess we'll find out.
Might
be a quick.
How do you make the book about it? Well, you got the inner dialogue. But all right, I think we've been babbling for quite some time. This could be like a 2-part episode right now. We haven't got into the top 5 movies.
We might need to squeeze out a 2-part.
So let's get started. Without any further ado, our own personal top 5 movies. Do we want to do?
Let's do some honorable mentions.
Let's do some honorable mentions that didn't make the top 5, maybe.
That didn't make our own personal top 5. We have not compared notes yet, by the way. I have no idea.
It could be an identical list, and all of a sudden it's a 1-part. It's a 1-part.
We're back to a 1-part show. Yeah, that's a great movie. Yeah.
You remember that one movie? That was awesome.
That was it. Good one. Good one. What's your number 4?
Yeah.
So
I've got mental notes, though.
I got JFK. I'll throw a shout out to Oliver Stone and JFK. The cinematography, the cut back and forth between the different timelines and the actors and actual footage. I thought it was a cinematic masterpiece and very quotable.
You're using cinematic masterpiece in the honorable mention section already.
Well,
This is gonna get out of hand. We're gonna be running out of words.
You want to just go left or right?
yeah,
or-
whatever, man.
All right, I'll throw out. This one was in my top 5 for a long time, but it's The Shawshank Redemption by Frank Darabont, starring Morgan Freeman and
I thought that would be in your top 5.
yeah, Tim.
When you were going to be scheduled to be a guest on the show, I was like, he's going to have Shawshank.
I love that movie. Filmed in Mansfield, just
Yep.
45 minutes south of here, Mansfield Prison. I think the Saturday is actually the Shawshank Hustle. It's a.
Oh yeah.
I've run it before. I'm not doing it this year, but the run, it's I think a 5-mile run, and it goes past all the different filming
cool.
locations and finishes at the prison. Starts
Cool.
and finishes.
Did
at
it
the
make you
prison.
run in shackles?
Yeah.
That'd be cool if they did.
Somebody
Give you some
should.
shackles?
But yeah, Shawshank Redemption would be an honorable mention for me. For sure.
Yeah.
Can you go, is there a museum for the, can't you go through the prison they filmed in?
You can,
In a
yeah.
museum
You
piece
can do
now?
tours in the prison. Especially in October, it's like a haunted prison.
Yeah, it's a haunted prison. You can stay overnight
Perfect
there.
for Stephen King adaptations.
What do you got? Honorable mention.
A Few Good Men.
Oh,
I
that's a
mean,
good
this
one.
is just, this is a phenomenal movie. You know, it's got an explosive finale that is just dialogue. It's back and forth. Jack Nicholson just chewing scenery the whole time.
Chewing scenery,
He's running
that's
laps
really
around
good.
everybody in every scene he is, and that's impressive. It's Tom Cruise, Demi Moore, Kevin Bacon's in it, and somehow Jack Nicholson is just, I mean, showing them the ropes, and badly too. There's that one scene where they're having lunch in Cuba on the base. Oh, and he's just surrounded with his little goons, his 2 little goons that are with him. I mean, just phenomenal.
Kiefer Sutherland. There's a lot of them.
A lot of
young
names
actors in there.
And obviously, it's just iconic. The ending's iconic, full of. I mean, you want to talk about quotable.
Quotable.
Everybody.
Maybe one of the
everybody-
great courtroom scenes in film.
For sure.
Oh.
That last scene.
I'll throw out one more that's more recent for honorable mention. Avengers Endgame. The final 2 films.
Infinity
War
War.
and Endgame.
I'm counting that as one.
Yeah, you walk out of the theater of Infinity War. I remember that opening night. I was like, what is
Yeah.
going
What
on?
is
That
going
was
on?
that was an experience. That was a different.
Like you didn't think
experience.
it was going to happen. You know,
No, you.
Thanos won in the end of the first one, and then the opening of the second one, they kill Thanos like in the first 5 minutes. I remember I was like, "What is going on?"
And then
Remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, that movie's full of chills. Okay, literal chills.
So you
Captain
like when
America
they-
picking up Thor's hammer?
That was
That was electric.
a
Quite
great
literally.
cinematic. Like I always see like on social media is like what's like maybe the greatest audience reaction of all time in a theater, and when that hammer comes and Cap gets it.
Oh
I
man,
mean, I can
I'm
remember.
I'm getting chills right now thinking about it. I mean, because Captain America is my favorite of that universe, so for him to have a moment like that was even more. I was even more amped up. And classic. Just to get back to comics, there's a classic scene in the original Infinity War comic that I read because you had them. They're in my comic box now. Funny enough.
Scavenged. Yes.
But I read them when I came home from the first Avengers because Thanos is the post-credit scene for that, and I remember asking you, "Who's that?" And you're like,
Oh, yeah, I
You
remember
read the
that,
Infinity
yeah.
Gem saga?
Yeah,
To the
Because he was
comic.
like, "Who's that dude at the end?" Yeah. It's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, that's Thanos, man." Infinity.
So he
War.
showed me these comics, and there's a panel. This might be my all-time favorite comic panel. Everybody's dead, and Thanos is claiming victory, and Captain America stands up, and he's like, "You can't claim victory until no one's left." And he goes up against Thanos alone, just Captain America. You know, what does he got at the end of the day? He's not Wolverine, he's not Spider-Man, he's not in armor. And he goes up against Thanos, and I was like, yeah, that's the guy you want leading you right
Yeah,
there.
that's why he's captain of the Avengers.
And they do that in Endgame a little bit, where he pulls that shield on tight, and he just is looking over that army right before all the portals open, and he gets saved. But I mean, what a moment. What
Yeah.
a film.
He kind of has that moment in Infinity War too, when they're in Wakanda, and like Thanos goes to punch him, and like
he's
Cap
holding
like
it
grabs his
back.
fist, and like you can see Thanos like look, he's like, who's this dude down
What's
there?
going on? Yeah.
But then I mean, his back's up.
Yeah.
He's got the
But
Power Stone.
Yeah, I can get behind a character like that. A guy who just doesn't stop going, no matter what.
Another honorable mention. I have another honorable mention, but I'm not going to say what it is because I'm pretty sure it's in your top 5. But I'll throw out Star Wars Episode 4: A New Hope. as honorable mention. I mean, back in '77, we talked about it a little bit. With the
Honorable
comic.
mention, huh?
That just, I mean, it just kind of changed.
That changed cinema.
Changed cinema. Well,
Changed
that
pop
and another
culture.
film that's in my top 5 kind of
All right,
changed cinema.
Probably a good lead in, unless you got another honorable mention.
No, we
to
can
throw
go-
out.
we
All
can
right,
go
let's
right
lead
in.
in. Let's go. Let's just start with the number 5s and
Go into one.
and go
Maybe
into
like a
one.
snake-
5, 4, 4, 4.
A
and
snake
so-
draft or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, figure it out.
Something. All right, number 5. Let's go first.
You want to have the young
Let's
head
have
go
the
first?
young head go first.
All right, so I think this will probably, my list is going to be probably the most different here. In my number 5, now this is a position, it's always available. You know, it's always changing.
Yeah.
Guys come and go, and they could easily work their way up or work their way out. And right now, though, for me, just because I wanted to make it a little more different, a little more variety. Usually I have one safeguard in there, but I'm sure it's on theirs. So I'm doing my fun one. This is, you know, you can take those family pictures and you're always like, okay, now the fun one. This is my fun one. At the number 5 position, Pirates of the Caribbean, Curse of the Black Pearl.
The original, right? The original.
Yeah, this is the first one.
I remember when we went to that movie, Johnny Depp was robbed of an Academy Best Actor. I remember we were sitting there watching him and we were like, what is going on? Because he was all like drunk and half. You watch it now and you just take that for granted. But when that came out and you're sitting in the theater, you didn't know that was going to be how he was going to be. You remember that?
Yeah, do you remember who he said he based his character on?
Uh-uh.
Do you know? He said he based Jack Sparrow on Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones.
Oh.
He said he watched a lot of Keith Richards videos and he kind of got that
Yeah,
savvy, you know.
Yeah, that was so original and so goofy and so different. He was robbed. He should have got the
I wonder who won it.
Academy Award for that. And I give that, because we take that for granted now after so many sequels and they got
But I would
watered
say even
down.
their trilogy, the first 3, they really work well. And I really like him. I like Davy Jones. He's in the second 2 of the trilogy. He's a work of CGI that there's that era of CGI where they still, I don't know how they can't go back to it. CGI now I feel like is very sloppy and it doesn't look as good as those early Michael Bay Transformer movies or Davy Jones from the Pirates of the Caribbean trilogy. I mean, there's so much good
You're
stuff.
right.
Everybody was good in that. Elizabeth Swan.
I mean, and that girl was
Keira
like
Knightley,
17 years old. Keira
Orlando
Knightley.
Bloom.
Yeah.
Orlando
Bloom doing Lord of the Rings, then going to that.
We should have mentioned Lord of the Rings as at least honorable
I'm
mention.
I'm surprised.
Oh yeah, honorable mention for
I would
sure.
suspected that would be in yours too.
Yeah, it's not my top 5, but it's certainly like honorable
Certainly
mention.
honorable mention. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that
Good
great
choice.
cast,
Good number 5.
lots of fun.
And I think, like you
just
said,
turn it on and you just have a good time watching it.
Yeah.
yeah, and I think, like you said, and then you also said with Shawshank used to be in their top 5.
Mm-hmm.
That 5 position,
It's anybody's spot.
yeah, could change at any time.
If somebody out there could comment, I'd like to know who won Best Actor of the year that Johnny Depp got robbed.
I would too.
I wonder who won Best Actor that year.
I rember sitting in theater
Was he
watching
even
that, and I was
nominated?
like, "What is going on?" This
don't
guy
even know if he
is
got
nuts.
nominated, did he?
He probably didn't, because it was, it was a blockbuster type movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, he knocks it out of the ballpark.
He
though.
does.
That's just an iconic character in and of itself because of that performance. You can't get another person to do
No.
that.
No, you're not.
And they're trying to do Pirates of the Caribbean without him.
You can't.
I heard he's looking at it. He wants to see if the script is any good before he decides. I read that
Yeah,
the other day.
you better get him in there. Else that's just a pirate movie at that point.
Yeah. You going number 5?
Sure, I'll go for my number 5. Favorite film of all time is the 1985 classic Back to the Future.
Ooh.
Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly, Christopher Lloyd as Doc Brown, Leah Thompson as Marty's mom that he falls in love with when he goes back to 1955. But yeah, I love that film. It's just like Michael J. Fox is just so
It's
good.
in his prime.
Yeah, it's in his prime. I mean, the soundtrack's good. Huey Lewis with The Power of Love. It just captures like the 80s so well. Maybe it's kind of like nostalgic factor for me. But, I mean, people have called it like the perfect film. I like the time paradoxes that it makes you think about, like when he's in the diner and Goldie's like, he's like, look at me. He's like, you think I'm going to spend the rest of my life in this slot house? And Marty's like, that's right, you're going to be mayor. And he's like, mayor. Now, if Marty wouldn't have said that, would he have gone on to be mayor?
Who knows what would happen?
Who knows what would happen? So I like,
I think it was original in that a lot of those tropes, they're tropes now, but it was original back then.
the DeLorean. Like you said, special effects back in '85. I mean, everything looks awesome. I think it
Because it's
holds
real.
up.
Yeah, and it's got a dirtiness to it.
Yeah.
That you
DeLorean was down for the Tommy Boy Fest. They had Back to the Future car down
Thanks
there.
for posting that, because as soon as I saw you post that, I took Luke downtown.
Cool.
And we got his picture inside the DeLorean,
nice.
the Ecto One, the Jurassic Park. But yeah, it was up there. But the DeLorean's classic.
I just rewatched that trilogy like last month. Back to the Future.
And the whole trilogy stands up.
I like the third. I didn't know I was in the here. I like the
Minority.
third one a lot. I like it way more than the second. I think the Wild West setting's fun. It is my favorite moment from the trilogy, where Marty goes, "Great Scott!" and then Doc goes, "Wow, that's heavy." Like they changed their
switched,
lines at one time, and I really like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have. I don't even know, Jim. You've probably seen it. I don't think you've even seen
This is
this
your number-
movie.
your number
This is number
five?
five. Yeah, and I don't know why really, but it's just a film that I like. Excalibur
Oh yeah.
from 1981.
Yeah.
It's a Legend of King Arthur movie. It's got Liam Neeson, Patrick Stewart, although they're kind of bit parts.
Mm-hmm.
But I love the way it was filmed. It's a John Borman
John
film.
Borman, yeah.
I love the soundtrack. I love the storyline that they have, Lancelot, and they start with King Arthur when he's just a squire. They show him becoming king and how that works. And I think it's one of the all-time great portrayals of Merlin. Nicholson or something is his name. But he's almost got the same quality as Johnny Depp as Pirates of the Caribbean, where he's just like kind of helter-skelter in his own mind.
Morgan Le Fay.
And it's got, you're not sure, is it really magic or is what's going on there? But in the way they film it, it's got full armor for everybody. It's got a lot of great quotable lines and wisdom in there. It's a good movie. I realize it's not for everyone. I realize probably there's 3 other people in the world that have it in their top 5.
Have you seen it?
No, I never even heard him talk about this.
Yeah, I just really like the movie. I can't really pinpoint why, but I've always liked it, and I do occasionally watch it from time to time.
In class, my senior lit class, we read King Arthur, and I show my class like 4 or 5 different
Scenes from
film
there.
scenes of just the Sword and the Stone.
Okay.
So we watched the Disney cartoon version, we watched the Excalibur version, we watched the TV show called Merlin version.
Yeah.
And then there was one that they just recently did with Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
And then the dude from Sons of Anarchy was Arthur. I can't remember the dude's name.
I know.
But we watched that Sword in the Stone. But of all the Arthur adaptations that have ever been done, Excalibur is the closest to the actual legend on film.
Yeah, then you got the Lady of the Lake at the
Lady
end.
Lake is sweet.
At the end, his son stabs him with this giant spear, and the spear is going through him, and he's climbing up the spear
sweet,
to get
yeah.
down to the kid. And
Yes,
Gets
with Mordred.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's cool. It's a cool movie.
That's a good choice. I wouldn't argue with it. If you watch, like when I show the scene from Excalibur when he does the Sword in the Stone, it's like 1 second he's like, I can't be king. I can't be, he's hesitant to accept it, and then like Merlin comes in and says, no, you are the king. And then like his foster father and his foster brother, Sir Ector and Sir Kay, like kneel to him, and all of a sudden he's like, Father, stand up. I was your son before I was your king.
Yeah, there's a lot. I think
It
it's
can't
a
be,
movie.
but it's awesome. Yeah, it's good. It's John Borman like at his best. I think.
Yeah. All right.
Oh,
It's a good top 5. It's good. I'll go 4. All right, my number 4 is going to be, and I got a couple of these. I actually have 3 of these that I don't know if it's going to count. I'm doing it as the whole thing, the whole trilogy, or the whole. I know it's probably going to put a damper. It might be a cop out. Rocky, the Rocky franchise, except for
Rocky 5 is his favorite, guys. Just so you know, we're a big Rocky 5 fans. We have a big fest every
Rocky
year.
5 does not even exist. It's why we went from Rocky 4 to Rocky Balboa, not Rocky 6. Rocky 5 does not exist in this household.
I don't know. I actually have never seen it.
My 2 favorites are Rocky
Rocky 5?
and Rocky Balboa.
Rocky 5.
But
You don't like
but
2?
I love 2. I love 3.
And while we're in it,
I love 4. But if I I mean, you know, Rocky, the original is the original, and I just feel like Rocky Balboa was as close to the original. The other movies are great. I think Rocky 2 is underrated. I think it's overlooked.
When I was a kid, Rocky 2 was always my favorite, but now the original Rocky. Rocky was going to be one of my honorable mentions because I love that movie.
Yeah,
I mean, Rocky 4 is America's Odyssey, ladies and gentlemen. That is just a beautiful film.
and the director's, or what do we call it, Rocky versus Drago now.
Even
if you
better.
haven't seen that, it's
It's
got
coming
some
out in
cool.
November at the theater.
It was out some time ago. We
saw
went and
when it
saw
first came out.
Yeah, it's
got
coming
some
back
cool-
out this November.
It's got some cool things in there, some cool differences.
I mean, that
Sound.
movie gets you amped. Rocky 4.
Well, they all get
they
you
all
amped.
do, but
Yeah, that's
that
the
one
whole
is
thing.
different. That, like, you watch Rocky 4 and you become some sort of primal, testosterone-filled animal.
Such a great '80s film. Too.
Oh, yeah.
You know Benner, Seth Benner.
Yeah.
My buddy, he coached track at Port Clinton, but that I hope I'm not speaking out of turn if he sees, but he said Rocky 4 is his favorite film of all time. Rocky 4.
I can't blame a guy.
Yeah, you can't blame a
people
guy.
love movies that make them cry every time. And Rocky 4 is like the opposite of that. It just fills you with something. It fills you with vigor
What about
every time.
You cry at throw the damn towel.
It's a
Throw the damn towel.
It's a beautiful. It's America's Odyssey. It's America's Odyssey. It really is. You know, there's a lot of tension between America and Russia right now. What I say is we
Maybe-
fill up a plane of Rocky 4 DVDs and drop it over Russia
Drop
to teach
over
those guys a
Russia.
I
lesson.
can change. You can change.
Yeah, I don't know.
We all can change.
Yeah,
That's
that's the only part.
But no, I mean it's classic.
Oh,
It is.
dude,
It
the
is.
final. He's got
Yeah.
the Russian. I mean, that gets you amped up.
See,
and
I
then
mean,
Duke's in there. He's yelling. Is that that's
Duke,
the
yeah.
term?
Duke.
He's yelling at him. He's not a machine. He's a man.
So like the names of the villains, I mean, they're like
Yeah.
Apollo Creed, Clubber Lang, classic. Ivan Drago. Yeah, I must break him. If
Yeah.
he dies, he dies. And then even Rocky 5, which you said doesn't exist, has Tommy Gunn is a great name, and Union Kane, which is a great name.
Mason the Line Dixon.
Mason Dixon. That's in Rocky
Yeah,
Balboa.
Yeah. Spider Rico.
And even look at it spawned Creed, which are great films.
But also, it's really spawned the WWF. Because wrestling
Thunderlips.
was not mainstream.
Remember Thunderlips?
Yes, Thunderlips. And Hulk Hogan actually got fired from whatever league he was in at that time for doing that movie. But yeah, Thunderlips, the ultimate male. After that, wrestling caught on.
Dude, we could just sit here and do live like, have no fear, Thunderlips is here in the flesh,
Well,
baby.
Meatball!
The Creed movies as well. They bring back Drago and Creed 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just in modern news right now, on TikTok, somebody made a Creed edit where they just take snippets of audio and video. They made this edit, and it's so good. People are paying the person in the comments. They're sending them money, saying, "I won't watch this for free. This is so good. Here's
But
money."
what was the edit?
Of Creed, of the Creed movie.
It's just a Creed edit?
It's just a Creed edit, but
I
it's,
thought you were saying they were like putting Creed versus...
no, it's
Sylvester
just
Stallone or
they
something.
take the movie. I think they take Creed, Creed 2, and Creed 3 and just edit it into one 30-second video.
Oh.
And people are going electric over it. They're sending him money in his comment section because they're like, "I won't watch this for free. Like
Wow.
this is so good. Here it is." And now you're starting to see like streaming services in movies make edits for marketing for new movies coming up. The Long Walk that we mentioned earlier, they made an edit of the movie. The official Long Walk movie page made an edit.
Do you know what edit is?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know what it's at some point. I mean, it's just...
Because now I show you
edit.
one.
Is Creed's girlfriend in the films the same girl as Valkyrie in Marvel?
Yeah, Tessa
Okay.
Thompson.
Tessa Thompson.
She's,
Yeah,
yeah.
she's good.
So
yeah,
that's
I
my
mean,
number 4, and I'm counting it the franchise. Because I really,
that
don't,
might
want,
be getting
really don't want to
ridiculous.
take them apart. But if I had to, it would just be Rocky, the original. And my second choice would be Rocky Balboa. But I want to put them... I count them as one. Except for Rocky 5.
All right. My
That's number
4?
1. That gets its own spot at number 1.
All right, my number 4, it's a historical epic. When I saw it at the theater, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is like so good. It's Braveheart,
Oh.
starring and directed by Mel Gibson. It's just everything. Look, I know it's not, historically accurate or what have you, but
Give
I
us a
should,
break.
should tell you of William Wallace. Have you ever seen Braveheart?
I've never seen it. My one history teacher, Mrs. Goff, I don't know if she's still with us or not.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
She's still with us.
She loves. She loves
living or at St. Mary's?
She loves Braveheart.
Living.
So a former St. Mary's English teacher, who now teaches at us, and Chris Sicoli, who is also still with us in life.
I know him. I know him. Great guy. Great.
He loves
coach.
Braveheart too, but it's just like one of the first movies I remember seeing. I think wasn't it like that came out and like the same time like Dances with Wolves and like some of those other ones.
I
like
think
JFK,
kind of in that same
those historical epics.
area.
But it's just like so real and so gritty, and like the battle scenes you can see like the mud and the dirt like under their thumbs, and it's got love, it's got adventure, it's got he's the underdog story much in the same way Rocky's the underdog.
There's a couple little funny scenes too. Don't they use
Irishman.
fake prisoners or something? Is that
yeah but like the dude the Irish guy, he's got some funny lines.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some levity in it here and there, but it's just like it
does not end levitably.
Well, when Robert the Bruce, if you haven't seen it yet, and
if you haven't seen it yet,
Robert the Bruce is
bad.
inspired. William Wallace, Braveheart, inspired. The whole scene when he's captured and tortured, and then the scene at the end where basically what's going to happen is they're going to make Robert the Bruce king, but he basically is going to be like a puppet king of Longshanks, who's dying or dead by that time. But I love the scene at the end when the one British noble says, he's like, I hope you washed your ass today because you're about to have it kissed by a king. And then Robert the Bruce rides out there and he turns around back to the Scottish, this ragtag bunch. He says, you bled with Wallace, now bleed with me. And he turns around and oh gosh, it's just like so good. The warrior poet. I'm just getting goosebumps right now, like thinking about the soundtrack is awesome. I know Mel Gibson might have been like canceled or whatever.
After that,
you got to separate the artist from the artist from the.
You're going to say that this is no good now?
Yeah, I mean you're not going to go back and John Martin Riggs. I mean that's one of the great characters of all time. Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
But yeah, Braveheart would be my number 4.
My number 4 is a recent one, probably the most recent one on the list, I would assume, but the Batman.
Yeah.
From what is that, 2023?
Yeah.
Woo! I'll tell you what.
Tell us what.
I love Batman. He's my all-time favorite fictional character. It comes right back to the roots that we're in right now. He used to read me Batman comics before I went to bed. I mean, because kids are reading Rainbow Fish,
nice nighttime story,
Hungry
nighttime
Caterpillar,
Yeah,
and whatnot.
We ain't got that stuff.
He pulled out a long box of Batman comics, said pick one, and so I picked one, and he'd be reading it, and this was, I was young when Batman Begins came out, so he was doing the voices for the characters and whatnot, put it on a whole show, and I fell in love with the character then, and so I always like seeing Batman in anything. But that movie I'll admit, was like a shocker. I didn't know what to expect going into it because that was like DC was dead. They don't know what they're doing. They're throwing junk at the wall.
It was.
So it was scary. It was scary going in, but coming out of it, we were both. We
did a podcast on that one, and that
we were both shocked. But the Riddler was crazy in that one.
Yeah.
The Batman, the look of the Batman in that, the leather. Like the fact that it's actual leather for the cowl and he has the collar, adds a very gothic feel, but it also adds like a noise to whenever he's turning. I think cinematography wise, it's beautiful.
Yes.
It just, everything with the Batman really works. And part of that is Robert Pattinson bringing it to life. The slow movements that he has, like when he's turning and stuff, I really like it. Adds.
The soundtrack's great too.
Oh, I like the Batmobile in that movie.
The Batmobile chase scene in that movie is really good.
Yeah,
you got everybody. It's very along the lines of like Seven. It's more.
That's what we said in that when we reviewed it.
Yeah, Commissioner Gordon getting a big role in it. I like that. I like Batman's relationship with everyone. It allows a lot of stuff to be worked out. Like him and Alfred, they aren't on the same level yet. They want different things from each other, but that's how you start a story so they can grow and figure that out together over a movie or a trilogy, and starting the Batman very early on. I remember when the first footage came out and it was him beating those guys down. He said Avengers like, oh, this might actually be something. But yeah, and just the story the character goes on as Batman I really like, because I'm not the biggest fan of when Batman's strictly dark and brooding I like when he has a little bit of hopefulness to him, like when he has a Robin and it's like, yeah, he's a good guy. He just is in a bad place, but he's trying to make it better. And I think you see that at the end of this movie where he comes to realization with that monologue or the over top of the film, and he's like, you know, I have to be more than an ideal of vengeance. I have to be like a symbol of hope. And I really like that for the character going forward. I heard Robin's in the next one. So
I heard that rumor too.
I have 2 questions for you. Number 1, is that your favorite Batman film, even more so than The Dark Knight?
no.
Okay. Okay.
Then
And then my second question was
surmise what might be on your list.
We can maybe edit that part, that question out. But then my second question is, do you want to see this version of Batman in the
Absolutely
DCU?
not. Absolutely not.
You don't want to see him
more-
interact with Superman?
No, give me more Batman. There was an edit where I was like, oh, that is kind of cool. It's a parallel of Superman in the dust after that building falls and Batman coming out of the fire at the end of the Batmobile chase, and how one of them, Lois Lane, is like telling Superman, you see the best in people, and then Catwoman is telling Batman, you just see the worst in people. I think there is a lot of interesting parallels.
Well, I think that's Batman and Superman.
Yeah, I think-
not just that
Yeah, that's
version.
the comics.
yeah, but I think
It's those characters.
No, just give me a different Batman.
Yeah.
Give me a Batman.
This Batman
in that
cannot-
blue cape and cowl. Get him jacked up and have him fight. Like
You're not worried that's too many Batmen?
you can never have too many
Is the
Batman.
audience going to be confused?
How could they be? It's Batman. Everybody's with it these days. You know, you go to a Marvel movie and all of a sudden they're opening the multiverse and there's 3 different Spider-Man on screen. That would never happen in Batman. So I think it'd be fine. But I just don't think Batman.
Those two universes cannot cross. It's like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. It's
the Batman universe and the Superman universe?
That Batman with Robert Pattinson is not. It's not the same.
I mean, just suit-wise too. Like, I'm not a fan of the armored Batman look, but it makes sense that he has it in that Batman universe.
He has to because he's a regular guy.
You
You go to Superman's universe. He can be in the gray
and blue. Oh.
Yeah.
And it's going to look. It's going to fit in. Yeah, I mean, it's going to fit in. Where there's no other Batman movie where you're like, oh yeah, put Christian Bale in. It's going to look ludicrous.
Yeah, it's
Put
not
Robert
going to
Pattinson.
work.
No, it's not going to work with Robert Pattinson one.
And that's a disservice to both universes. Then trying to mold those together.
Yes,
Because
they have to know that. They have.
Yeah,
to
you
know
already made it like in this Batman universe. He's going to be going after more grounded villains, which is fine. There's plenty of serial killers that you can do for Batman. There's Mr. Pig or Professor Pig or whatever his name is. There's Hugo Strange you could pull out of the gutter. Zaz. Yeah, you could go on and
he was doing like the Penguin was a gang lord or whatever.
Yeah, if the Penguin,
Mafia.
if you're gonna do a Penguin in the DCU Superman universe,
He's a Penguin.
Then I want to see a little fat guy with a monocle
Like
and a
Danny
top
DeVito?
hat. Yeah, I want to see that from that universe.
Burgess Meredith.
Yeah.
But
Agreed.
Plus, Batman's got like the best. If you think about the comics,
He's got the
Batman and
best rogues.
Superman.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Batman and Spider-Man probably the 2 best rogues galleries
for sure.
So there's a lot.
yeah, you don't need to be
Batman.
scraping, but you don't need to be like, oh, which universe is going to get the Joker? Neither one of them need the Joker, by the way. But which universe is going to get this guy? Man-Bat, Killer Croc, Clayface.
Those are
Any
all
other creep,
DCU.
monster, psychopath, throw there. Regular creep and psychos, put in this universe. We can have whoever kill whoever here.
Are you interested in a Clayface movie without the Batman?
We talked about
I'm
that.
Did you
not-
already? Okay.
I'm not interested in it. I think it will be cool though if they make Batman the antagonist. And like I was talking to him,
Make it a
just
horror
have him,
movie.
if Batman's in the shadows, beating, like coming out of nowhere,
Oh, yeah. I saw you talking
humbling this
about
guy,
that,
and it's like,
I
oh,
gotcha.
this is pretty sweet.
I remember you talking about
Yeah.
that. All right. So I guess you're number 3 now.
Number 3, I'm going.
Wait, did you go first for one yet?
No, but we're going.
No, you
Oh,
get
yeah,
caught in
you
the middle
go.
then. You gotta go. You gotta
Yeah.
go number 3.
So my number 3 and my number 2 are pretty much interchangeable. You could go one or the other, and I'd be fine. Yeah, but I would say my number 3 favorite movie of all time is Raiders of the Lost Ark. Directed by Steven Spielberg, 1981. Harrison Ford in his prime, Spielberg in his prime, Karen Allen. You got
Change the nature of the adventure film. I'll tell you
yes, it's like the great adventure film. To me, not a second of film is wasted.
that. Agreed.
It's lean, it's mean. I mean, the introduction of Indy
Oh.
at the beginning, the
All-time
Paramount
great.
Mountain, all-time great.
All-time great.
Going, he set the. I love those little mini adventures at the beginning of each movie, like when he goes into the temple to get the idol, and Forrestal's in there. He's dead, and Satipo's like, "Who's that?" He's like, "He's a competitor. He's good. He's really good." But Indy makes it. The big giant ball at the end. Then John Williams is in his prime. The Indiana, the Raiders March, the Ark theme. Marion's theme,
the truck chase,
music
on the truck
action
chase
sequence.
It might be the greatest action movie, but the music to that
music, desert chase.
That's a great movie. It's a great movie.
I mean, everything. The payoff at the end.
Theme. No one's mentioned.
No, the Raiders March.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what that's called?
It's called the Raiders March.
But yeah, I mean, that's a memorable. You hear that, you know what you're talking about.
I mean, you got a payoff at the end too. It's not like J.J. Abrams today remake like a little mystery box and the mystery doesn't pay off at the end. They open the ark, you see what the heck is in there. All hell breaks loose, almost literally.
Yeah.
I
tell you what I hate is the argument people are like, oh, if Indiana Jones wasn't even in that movie, he didn't affect the outcome at all.
It's not true because they would have never gone to that island.
They would have never.
They were gonna truck it.
You know what I'm saying?
I've seen that argument. But they were gonna drive the truck. I mean, Indy got the ark back, and that ended up on the boat, and then they took it to the Nazis, took it to the submarine. That's why Belloc's like, we need to get this open on that island. They would have never been out there at that island if it wasn't for anything. It would have never been open.
But then they ended up with it though. If it makes it back to Germany, and they open it and it kills a bunch of Germans, well, there's a bunch more Germans that can close it back up and then use it as a weapon.
Plus, Indy literally found it. Belloc, they were
digging in the wrong place.
Digging in the wrong place. They start dancing. But yeah, remember they only had the markings on that.
Take back one Kadan for the God who serves.
Yeah, so they would have probably never even found it.
Right.
So Indy's, I mean, the whole map room sequence too, when he goes down there and he puts that pole in and the sun turns into a laser and the arc theme, it's just like so good. So good.
Great. There's very few movies that just have it, but that movie just has it. I mean, down to everything, like everything you mentioned, but on top of it, even the noise that his whip makes, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah. They nailed everything in that movie. They
real snakes.
They got great extras.
Real cobra.
Yeah, the glass thing that they put up.
They got great extras or whatever. The scene where, and he's explaining what the arc is to those two guys.
Those two chuckleheads.
They're perfect. They're like, whoa.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we've come to the right guy.
Just like their little faces they're making as he's explaining it to them. I mean, it's everything like you guys said. I mean,
fun fact, the one guy, the one Washington man, he's like, he plays Porkins in A New Hope.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, great movie. But I think it also spawned a whole, I mean, for whatever, 3, 4, 5 years, was nothing but Raiders of the Lost Ark knockoffs.
Oh, like Romancing the Stone.
Everybody was in a fedora, everybody was just action scene. You know, none of them, very few of them are memorable.
You can't have another guy in a fedora, though. Yeah. You know, I mean, you get Harrison Ford in that look, and you're like,
this is my one regret, is that they didn't pump out like more 10 of those in his prime.
I read, I got the book, The Making of Raiders of the Lost Ark, and it said when Lucas and Spielberg went to the studio, they did a contract for five movies right off the bat. There's one like crazy script out there, you can find it. It's like Indiana Jones and like the Lost Monkey Kingdom or something like that. It's like, have you heard about that?
Yeah.
That would have been like crazy. Temple of Doom I thought was pretty good. Like I like Shorty and all that stuff. My son's favorite movie is Indiana's The Last Crusade, which
it's a good one.
Can't argue with it. But
I think that has a strong opening. I know Raiders of the Lost Ark is iconic and whatnot.
Dude, Temple of Doom's opening's awesome too.
What was? Oh, that's
Anything
James
Goes.
Bond. Very James Bond.
Yeah, Anything Goes.
Yeah, I definitely like Last Crusade opening more. I really think it's unfortunate that Phoenix Rivers passed away because he really did have.
He nailed it.
He had. You know, and they could have passed it to him. And then me and you always talk about this. They should have went the James Bond route of just recasting Indiana Jones. It's Harrison Ford has some movies. Whoever has some movies, and you could just keep making Indiana Jones.
The problem,
movies.
I felt the problem was though that they followed him from young to old, and you bookended it, and now where do those other guys
That's what
go?
I mean. It's too late now. But
yeah,
right out of there
now.
Right out of the gate. But I mean, they were busy with like
They were
E.T.
busy.
and Return of the Giant stuff.
This one I feel like though, like I bundled Rocky and some other franchises here. I did not bundle this franchise.
The indie
For,
franchise.
for whatever reason, I view Raiders as very separate from.
Yes. Because it's very tonally different than Temple of Doom.
Yeah, Temple of Doom.
And Temple of Doom is
left
so
food.
totally different than Last Crusade is more like a buddy cop. Like I mean, I love Indy with his dad and stuff like that, but yeah, Raiders is almost like, and that's the thing about Raiders too, is like timeless. Like since it was set in like the late 1930s, like you can watch Raiders today and not feel like, oh, that was like, you can see what, how crappy that was, like with the effects back in the 80s. But yeah, it holds up. Yeah. Could you? One last,
Nazi as villains.
Nazis are great villains.
You can't go wrong with that.
Tote or whatever that dude's name was. He comes in there with that.
Hanger. We thought they were like
hanger. You thought he was gonna like beat the crap out of him. But let me ask you really quick before we move on. Have you ever seen the footage that they originally, Lucas and Spielberg wanted Tom Selleck to be Indy? Have you seen? And he did test footage. They filmed him like doing a scene, not to the extent where the dude was going to be Marty McFly, and they filmed for like 2 months. I can't remember.
Yeah, I remember that guy. Yeah,
Did you know that?
I didn't know.
You didn't know that?
I didn't know any
So
of that.
Back to the Future, Michael J. Fox couldn't get out of his contract with Family Ties.
Well, that's what happened with Tom Selleck.
So they said he couldn't do it. And so they filmed for like 2 months with, God, I'm going to be so mad now that I can't remember the guy's name. I can see him. But they filmed like 2 months, and they were just like, then the producers and this is just not working. So they went back and they were like, hey, we really want Michael J. Fox. And so they worked it out. Eric, shoot, I can't remember, Eric something. But they worked it out where Michael J. Fox would film Family Ties till like 6 in the afternoon and the evening. Then he would film Back to the Future all night, get done like 3 or 4, sleep for like 2 hours, and get back up and film Family Ties. But in all that footage that they filmed, Eric, but all that footage out there. But anyway, they've got a Tom Selleck scene, just one scene, and watching it, it's like, I don't know if Raiders, like Tom Selleck, because he couldn't get out of Magnum.
Right.
But watching this scene, it's like, I don't know if Raiders would have been as popular with Tom Selleck. Because Indiana Jones, like when you talk about somebody who's born to play a part, Harrison, even more than Han Solo, I think, is Indiana Jones.
It's funny you say about that screen test. I saw recently a screen test of Han Solo and Kurt Russell. Kurt Russell was terrible. He was very flat.
Yeah.
Like where Harrison Ford had all the mannerisms and all the, I don't want to say overacting, but he was Han Solo right there. He had all the motions and the thing. And Kurt Russell was like, almost like he didn't really want the part. He was just talking. He wasn't really emoting at all. I thought it was weird.
Eric Stoltz.
There you go.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. Sorry about that. I knew it would come to me. I was just hoping it would be during this podcast. But
All right. Good choice. Nobody's going to argue with that.
no, it's hard to argue with that.
Hard to argue with that. You want to go or you want me to go?
You go.
Number 3 for me, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. 2019 classic.
This is a classic.
Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio, Margot Robbie, bunch of hippies, bunch of goddamn hippies.
Revisionist history.
Revisionist history. I don't know, is that the right word or is it fictional history?
It's one of them.
Revisionist, yeah, because they
saved
revised the whole Manson family thing.
I don't think that's I think revising is like putting your spin on it. They didn't put a spin on it, they just erased it. Either way, however you want to call it, I love this movie. Even though the first time I was sitting in the theater watching it and it got to about the 2-hour mark and all of a sudden they're flying to...
I think we saw it together.
Yeah, they're flying to Rome and I'm like, what is going on with this movie? Nothing is happening. But it's a great movie. Yeah. I love it.
And that duo works really well. Is this the only time Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio have been
probably
in a movie together? That's absurd. They work real well off of each other.
For sure, yeah.
And I mean, that's just
two top leading men like that.
They're top of the line, but yeah, I really like their duo in the movie.
Leonardo DiCaprio is so good.
He is.
When that girl comes up and she's
little
like,
girl.
that was the best acting I've ever seen, or something. And then it just like tear comes like, So good at
I think
that.
the part where he's making margaritas at the end and he goes out and starts yelling at them, "Get this out of the driveway!"
Get this mechanical asshole out of here. Yeah, this is great lines. He does a great. Even then, at the end, when he's talking to the neighbor, Jay Sebring, hey, what happened? Bunch of hippies trying to murder me and my wife.
Well, I torched the one with the flamethrower from the
No.
13th McCluskey.
Yeah, I
Get in my garage.
You would never think that, like, to watch the scene, like, in the theater, like, but when Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt are just like, you're watching them watching a show of him.
Yeah, right.
Like who would go to, it's almost like the
sign.
Seinfeld Chinese restaurant, like you're just watching people in a lobby of a Chinese restaurant, like you're watching two characters
men.
watching their show, commenting on their show, but it's so funny, like Leonardo DiCaprio, he's like, oh, that guy's such a jerk, he's an a-hole or whatever, like in real life, and then Brad Pitt's like laughing, and Brad was, what are you doing tonight? He's like, well, I was gonna, what was it, Gunsmoke or something like that? He's like,
order
a pizza.
you want to join me? He's like, yeah, and he like comes walking
I
out.
figured we would.
Yeah, that's so good.
It is. I love that movie. I
You
love
ex-
both those guys in it.
You excited for the adventures of Cliff Booth?
I am. I hope they don't drop the football.
I like the way the hippies are introduced
Mhm.
at the beginning of Once Upon a Hollywood. They have a weird little chant going around.
Yeah.
They're filmed purposely like out of focus with the haze, and it really makes it's like an eerie little like introduction to these people to let you know.
We could spin off an episode into the hippies and the real not revisionist history.
That might go.
Could
long.
really go into that.
You ever read Helter
That would get
Skelter?
us canceled.
That's a great book.
That's revisionist
dark.
history. It's revisionist history though. Bugatti or whatever that guy's name was. He was pushing that whole narrative. There's a book called Chaos by can't remember his name right now. He's also on Joe Rogan podcast. That whole situation. Charles Manson kept going into prison, and he kept getting let out. After the murders, they went and rounded up. They went out to Spawn Ranch and rounded up the hippies, had them under custody for a little while, and let them all out. I know, it's whack.
What's
And
going
that's
on?
Crack
there.
is whack. MK Ultra, that whole thing. Hey,
Oh, yeah.
Ashbury,
Is that whole like?
dude, it's crazy.
Okay.
It's crazy. You look into that, you'll go down a rabbit hole.
I think Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is that the screen debut of American
lot of
Eagle,
those guys.
Sydney Sweeney, right?
It is. I don't know if it's their debut, but it's like a nexus point for Margaret Qualley,
yeah.
Sydney Sweeney, and Austin Butler.
Yeah, Austin Butler's in it.
All like just spun out of that into big careers. Happening right now. Yeah, I don't know if it's their debut. I know it's not Austin Butler's. He was on Zoe 101 on Nickelodeon. When I was growing up, he was a character on there. But it was like a moment for all three of them where their careers really blew up and people bring it back to Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And they're all members of the Spawn Ranch. in that
Real as a
movie.
donut.
If you
That whole scene is great too. Are you real? And they start
You are
laughing.
real, aren't you?
if you're in a Tarantino movie, your career is gonna get a boost. That's for sure.
Yeah. There's something with Austin Butler. He had another role, a bigger role in a huge movie. I don't know if it was Top Gun Maverick. I'm unsure. He had a role, but he said, "My dream growing up was to be in a Tarantino movie."
So he took that.
And he took that, and he knew it was going to be much smaller than this other movie. But he said, "I would rather have be in Tarantino."
Good for him. All right, so that's my number 3.
My number 3 is Interstellar. I mean, this is just, you want to talk about beauty of cinema.
Another great
ladies and gentlemen.
soundtrack, by the way.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Interstellar is just, it's phenomenal. It's beautiful. I tear up every time watching it. I mean, the ending is just heartbreaking. The scene where Matthew McConaughey's watching his kid's message from over 20 years all at once. Dude, how do you think of that? That's sick and twisted almost. That's probably the most sick and twisted thing I've ever seen put to film, because it really is like, it's a different type of sadness and horror almost, to be like, I just missed all this time with my children. Oh, and then when Murph is crying for him not to leave, it's very sad, but it has what I think is maybe the most beautiful scene in all of film, the landing sequence, or the docking sequence, whatever you want to call it. The music on that, it's very little dialogue, but it works. It's oh, come on, Tars, and they gotta land it. Oh, tension. You want to talk about tension, you weapons fanatics. There it is right there.
There's some tension for you.
You're just on the edge of the seat watching that. Every time there's tears, there's tension, there's something felt. It's a beautiful scene. They made a black hole for this movie that now has become the basis for black hole models in NASA and everywhere. They're like, yeah, this is probably as real as it gets. Just making it up on the Interstellar set. And that's very scary. There's rumors that Christopher Nolan is calling in witches from the north to brew about creatures for the Odyssey right now. So we better watch out. He doesn't use no CGI.
He doesn't use some CGI. I need some real creatures, man.
He dropped a nuclear bomb for Oppenheimer. This guy's nuts. Okay? He's nuts. But, it's just beautiful. It's Matthew McConaughey at his best.
Yeah.
Timothy Chalamet, this is his...
Where's he in that?
He's Matthew McConaughey's kid.
Yeah.
And, this was his debut, I think. Maybe not his debut, but it was early on. I mean, my goodness.
My goodness.
It's just beautiful movie.
That's a good quality pick.
Yeah.
Good quality pick.
Good
Did
one.
you start with number 3?
I did.
All right, so who's number 2
I
then?
think you go to number 2.
All right, I'm going, and this is one I'm bunching together. I'm bundling Star Wars.
This guy.
Star Wars Empire, Jedi. It's my childhood right there. That's my number 2. I mean,
You can't go wrong with those.
Yeah, Star.
you don't need an explanation. I don't need an explanation. I do need an explanation about what the hell happened after episode Jedi. The only thing out of those prequels I've ever had any value to go back and watch is the Darth Maul fight scene. And that's got everything. It's got the music. It's a great fight scene. You got Darth Maul with the double lightsabers. I'll even say, I don't know that I've ever watched episode 2 or episode 3 more than the one time I saw it in the theater.
Episode 3 is good. Like, I would put that up there. I mean, not as good as the original trilogy, but sequel, I don't even count it. To me, the sequels are nothing but just expensive fan fiction.
That episode 7 was sweet, though. The first one, The Force Awakens, we actually watched the trailer. I don't know if you recall this. That trailer released, and we were in your basement, I think for an Ohio State-Michigan game.
I think so.
And it released, and we watched it on the TV. And it was like me and a bunch of guys these age, so they were like freaking out, and I was like, yeah.
My problem with episode 7 is it took everything that Luke, Han, Leia, Lando, and whatever, all the rebels, everything they fought for over 3 movies and just put them back to square one.
Yeah.
They didn't advance the plot. They're back to being rebels. There's another empire.
It's a cop-out. It's a cop-out.
And it's let me just say this really quickly. I don't want to bust anything. It is a mortal sin that J.J. Abrams, curse his name, had Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher coming back to do a Star Wars film, and he didn't put them in at least one scene together one last time. How could you not do that?
How could you not?
How could Luke Skywalker...
Here we go. Here we go.
Yeah, I mean,
We'll come back.
Podcast on.
We'll come back for an episode.
Mistakes that were made.
The 3 of us will come back for an episode about the sequel trilogy, because it is too much. It's too much to try to make a subplot of this episode. It deserves its own probably 3-part series of everything.
And you know what? That should be a Netflix docuseries, really and truly. How did they F this up? Star Wars, you effed it up.
I won't talk too much about your number 2 pick because I'm going to go into a few things later on. But but that's a great the Holy Trilogy.
And all right, well, since we're coming back to it, sounds like
we might be coming back to it. So number 2 for you.
My number 2 is since we're bunching things together, I won't even do that. But if we can include them, Dune 1 and Dune 2, the recent ones, not the David Fincher one from back in the day. But if I had to pick one, just Dune 2. Give me a break, ladies and gentlemen. What a beautiful film. And again, Marty Supreme leading the action. But oh my gosh. We saw this opening night.
Obviously.
Dune is my favorite book. It's the only book I've read cover to cover twice, I think it's absolutely beautiful. There's really something special about it. And it laid the groundwork for all of science fiction after it. You want to talk about Star Wars. The book, yeah. You want to talk about Star Wars, a lot of... go back and read Dune and you'll probably be sitting there going, this is just like Star Wars. Well, in reality, it's the other way around.
Right.
But we saw it opening day, Thursday, opening night or whatever. And I was nervous. I genuinely was. Because there was so much, I mean, like I said, it was something I really liked. I liked the first one more than anyone I've ever talked to. A lot of people say the first one's slow, it's boring. But I was like, no, to me it's not that. It's very interesting. They're explaining a lot of stuff and how it works, but in a way that keeps you entertained. I think the ending's great, that single knife fight between him and Jameis. But I was nervous going into it because there was a lot of hype around it. There was a lot of people were throwing around some crazy accusations. Like, I don't know if it lives up to this. And I was nervous. And then the lights in the theater went dim. And I don't know if you ever played sports, people watching. But like when you're like nervous at the beginning of a game before anything happens, right as before the whistle goes, you got these overwhelming nerves. That's what I was like. And I'm not even lying. There's like a pit in my stomach. I was like, dude, this is crazy. And then in a game, whether it be when the ball is tipped or you get hit for the first time in football and all the nerves just kind of turn off and you're ready to go. For me, it was when, in the opening scene, the Sardaukar are running up that hill and they go, and they just lift off and they start flying up higher and the music kicks in. That's when I was like, oh, I'm locked in now. All the nerves are gone. It's, it's just a beautiful looking movie.
Yes, I agree with that.
It's got a great soundtrack behind it. Everybody's giving a performance in there. It just works, man. It just clicks. And I think the sci-fi aspect is crazy good. That Coliseum scene where you introduced to Fade Rutha, that's brilliant. That's gonna be classic. That's iconic. He's a great sadistic villain. I really like Paul's arc. You start to see him sort of slip into this, at the beginning he's like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. But he's broken down over time and experience and becoming part of this culture. The religious prophecy starts to take hold of him. And to me, it's not an immediate turn. I think we'll see more of it in 3 as you do in the book. But it works much more as a hero's fall than Anakin Skywalker in the prequel trilogy, who, to me, watching that, he does just flip on a dime. It's like there's nothing for Anakin Skywalker that makes his turn or his change to the dark side feel valid unless you go back and watch 8 seasons of a cartoon show, which I did, and I think that show's got a lot of great Star Wars stuff, and it's best Star Wars stuff Disney's released, that final season of that show. But you shouldn't need to do that,
right,
to be able to get Anakin Skywalker's story. He's supposed to be this great character in the Star Wars mythos, and yet it just feels kind of like, oh, he's just a bad guy now. It just works like that. He goes in there, kills some kids. He does nothing.
Maybe episode 2 should have been the Clone War cartoons.
I think
Like
the mistake was
episode 1.
I think the mistake was here he is as a 12-year-old kid and a side character in episode 1.
That's definitely a mistake. They should have the same actor all the way through.
And it should have been here he is in episode 1 at the peak of his abilities. Here he is in episode 2 slowly falling. Here he is in episode 3 hunting every Jedi down in the most brutal way. Yeah. And he's losing a limb here or there, but he doesn't care.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care. He's fighting dozens of Jedi at one time.
Culminating in the Obi-Wan duel.
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
And also, we're talking about it. Obi-Wan and Yoda go into hiding. Why? Obi-Wan beat the Doonies down on Anakin, and they're like, "Oh, we're scared of Darth Vader."
Hide. Yeah. Why?
Just beat him up again. But anyway.
Yeah. Why would they be scared of Darth Vader? I'd let that guy live.
Yeah.
He owes me his life.
But I think Paul's arc of a fallen hero is done so much better than Anakin's, and I can't wait to see more of it. It's
All right.
I
haven't seen Dune Part 2 yet. I saw the first one.
Serious?
I saw the first one. I liked it.
Oh.
And for some reason, when did it come out? Was it like in February or something like that?
Yeah, it was like the 20. Yeah.
I don't know. I just never got around, so I'll have to put that on my list for sure.
It's much more.
I've always meant to, and it's just something I haven't.
It's much more entertaining than Dune 1. Like, Dune 1 is the setup in the story and getting you into that world.
That was sweet. What was the sandworms and stuff? Yeah,
and Dune 2, don't even get me started when he's riding the sandworm for the first time. Chills. He's not even speaking a real language, by the way. At the end, Paul is rallying the troops, and he's speaking in Fremen. Oh my gosh, it's disgusting. It's chills. It's like, what is going on? I'm about to go ride on a sandworm for this guy.
He's find a sandworm.
He's light years away, and I believe he's some sort of prophetic figure. And then the ending scene, again, I love that they cut the music. I love they hear the blades make contact and bouncing off of each other. That fight with Fade Rutha. Oh, I mean, there's so much to love about it. It is a long movie. I could be going all day about it.
It's a good movie.
It's not a good movie. It's a great movie.
It's a good movie.
Okay? It's,
a lot to like. Yeah, so it's your number 2. I give it.
You're not gonna argue with it.
No, I'm not gonna argue with it.
This guy's picking
No, I have to do my number
This guy's
2.
picking 3 movies compared to my one.
I know. I know it's sort of a cop out, but hey, what the heck?
He did that. He picked 6 movies for Rocky.
Five.
So really, this is like the top
Top
13.
20.
Yeah, so
And I'm over here scavenging 5.
all right, you want me to do my number 2?
Yeah, let's do it.
My number 2 is another classic from the 1970s. It's the movie that put Steven Spielberg on the map.
Oh yeah,
Jaws.
yeah.
I mean, you can't the whole thing, but like the tension that's built from not seeing the shark. I just watched this summer's. This is the 50th anniversary
Right.
of Jaws. They had a really good documentary this summer about the 50th anniversary of Jaws, and it's really Spielberg. There's so many. The story around the filming of it now is
legendary.
As legendary as the actual film. Like he wanted to show the shark in that very first Chrissy scene, and it wasn't working. The mechanical shark wouldn't work. And it actually made the film so much better that you don't see the shark until almost 3/4 of the way through the movie because it builds the tension. And as humans, it's always, I tell my students at school, it's always like what you don't see that's scarier. It's like the fear of the unknown. Like in a horror movie, it's scarier when you don't know where Michael Myers is. And when you finally see him, your mind can deal with it and stuff. So you don't see the shark until that classic scene when you're going to need a bigger boat. I mean, it's just the interactions between Roy Scheider and Richard Dreyfuss, Robert Shaw on the boat is classic.
It's really a character drama at that point.
Yeah.
Character study.
Yeah, when he's talking about how he's trapped with the sharks.
The USS Indianapolis speech is maybe one of the best monologues
Classic,
in all of film history. And then you still have like the action of like hunting the shark with the barrels. There's so many classic lines, A buddy of mine that I carpool with, Ty Roth, and we just like go on like quote Jaws lines all the time, like "Don't wait for me," like if one of us is running behind, like leaving school, "Don't wait for me." That's a 20-footer, 25. There was a novel by Peter Benchley first, which had.
Did you ever read that?
I did, and have you ever read it?
No.
Dude, it's a lot different. There's like Brody's wife and Hooper had an affair and all that stuff. So Spielberg, he and the writers. They
had no time
great
for
adaptation. Nobody got time for that. But it was a great adaptation of the book, a much better adaptation, much better story than the book was, I think. But I mean, it's just cinematic history.
For sure.
And that shark, that looks real. We were on vacation a few years ago. What?
You gotta slide into the picture here a little bit. I'll keep fading
We
out.
got-
No, you're good.
We were on vacation a couple years ago
Oh,
with my little cousin. He'd never seen any of this. He was so excited to get a shark tooth. It was like a fake one. You know what I mean? He bought it at a dollar store down in Florida. And I was like, I'll show you this movie. I'll show you Jaws. So I showed him the ending scene where the boat happens. And he goes, oh my gosh, why would they get in the water with a real shark? He was so confused. And I was like, it is real. That's why they get paid the big bucks. And then the shark starts tearing up the boat. And I'm not even joking. He didn't say the line yet. But he goes, oh, they should have brought a bigger boat. They tore it apart. And I was like, if we had this on record, we'd be going viral. But
Yeah, I remember that.
yeah, he loved it. As a little kid, obsessed with sharks. He thought it was a real shark. He was like terrified for the people in the movie.
I showed Luke
I
showed Luke the movie for the first time this summer.
Oh, yeah?
The full thing, and I figure, he's seen, like he watches Stranger Things, and he's seen more. But he still got spooked when the dude's like head pops out of the window. When he goes diving at night, because that boat's all tore up, and Hooper dives in, and like just the yellow lights from the boat are kind of blue, and you see that big old shark tooth, and he takes it out, and he's like trying to like yank on the board, and like Ben Gardner's head like pops out, and the eyeballs all missing.
Yeah.
He got freaked out at that, but. It's coming back to we talked about this before, it's coming back to the big screen on August 28th, I think, for the 50th anniversary, but, I don't know, classic.
Yeah,
Can't go wrong with Jaws.
That's another one that sort of redefined cinema.
That's what we were talking about when my honorable mention episode 4, and we talked about it. You know, Jaws really was the original summer blockbuster.
Yep.
Because it came out in the summer, and it was huge. Everybody went to see it.
I think it was one of the first movies that got wide release.
Yeah, it was a top-grossing film of like all time there for a while until I think Star Wars knocked it off. And it started the summer blockbuster. And it's crazy to think about it now because Spielberg talks about how he would go to bed at night like sick to his stomach because he thought it was like failing.
It's gonna be terrible.
He said that for years after filming, he would wake up in nightmares, like from that whole like filming experience with Jaws. It was like so traumatic for him.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a great one. Great one. Is that all our number 2s then?
Yeah.
Wait, what was your number 2?
The Star Wars
trilogy.
trilogy.
Star Wars.
Star Wars forgot. Star Wars trilogy. I forgot we're picking 3. The 3 for 2.
Hey, we're.
Alright, who's going number 1 first? My number 1 might be pretty obvious. So you want me to go first?
I think you're going to have to say The Dark Knight is going to be yours.
Yeah, come on.
So there it is.
There it is.
That's
Christopher Nolan, Batman, everything.
Heath Ledger.
It's got it all. I mean, it's already all been said.
I don't know why they keep trying to do the Joker. You got to let some time pass because what the heck was that guy? Jared Leto. That thing was what are you doing?
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The way they did it in the Batman was a deleted scene though, right?
They had a full deleted scene where he talks
kind
to
of like
him.
fuzz. Like, you
And
can't
And then
really see him.
they had him right at the end talking to Riddler.
And why they
and
did
it was
that?
like, ooh,
Why did
you
do that?
almost had a film.
Yeah,
you almost did it.
You almost ruined the film.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I don't.
He's so iconic. That's why.
But I think
Right,
you're
but-
looking at Batman villains. We mentioned this earlier. This guy has so many to choose from that haven't been done as
Court of
well.
Owls.
Court of Owls. I just put we
Yeah,
just
we're
read
reading
that. I was like, you could do that, but if you really need Batman to have the villain, some big villain, do Bane. Bane is just as much a threat as Joker, if not more. He's just as smart as Batman. He's just as strong as Batman. I mean, that's what the whole Nightfall storyline is Bane showing up and breaking Batman down. He knows who Batman is. I read that as a kid. I was like, whoa, what?
Yeah, nobody else can figure it out.
You're not worried about
Batman opens up the Batcave door and Bane's standing there going, all right, I'm going to beat you
Breaks
down
your
and
back.
break your back. I was like, why is Bane in the Batcave? How do you figure this secret out? What is going on? And to me, it's like Bane hasn't been done perfectly. You know what I mean?
Even Batman Returns or Dark Knight Rises. I mean, when he
He's
breaks
cool.
because
He's
they use
cool.
that Nightfall storyline, don't they?
Yeah, and that is
Well,
seeing
Breaks
that
his
like
back, yeah.
yeah, seeing. But I think even then you could do Bane. I think there still is.
yeah, there's a lot
There's
of
way
material
more
there.
room for Bane to be done
Than
for Joker. Everybody, even now, well, how did you prepare for this film? How did you create this character in your mind? They asked him that. Well, I thought of Heath Ledger's Joker. All right, so clearly this guy just let the Joker be.
Yeah,
and
let's
again,
let
like you
go.
mentioned, Court of Owls is another great villain. Hugo Strange could be a great antagonist for Batman on an intellectual level.
Poison Ivy.
Poison Ivy, he would be fun. I think even Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah.
You know, I know again you had him in
Neeson, sorta.
Batman Begins, but who knows? That is another iconic Batman villain that more so than Bane, because there's more time, and I think it might not have been done as well. You have so many stories with Batman, the Demon trilogy and the Son of the Demon, where
There's all
Damian
kinds.
Wayne.
There's all kinds.
I feel like Ra's al Ghul is another villain that could reach the level of Bane and Joker to be a great, like a truly
film.
a rival Batman
You know what
antagonist.
you could actually do? Because I don't think they've ever been in a film together yet, unless I'm wrong. But I don't think Batman's ever faced up with Harley Quinn in an actual. She was in Suicide Squad, Margot
Yeah.
Robbie, but Batman wasn't in those.
The only thing about that is they would be way too tempted to be like, well, Harley Quinn's here, get the Joker. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'd be writing that and go as soon as as soon as there's a moment.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like if you did Ra's al Ghul, you could bring in Talia al Ghul. Again, I know they did it in the Dark Knight Rises and all that, but not.
Well, how do we get? Let's talk.
Yeah, back
about
to the point of the Dark Knight.
The Dark
I mean, that's
Knight.
like that. I was gonna maybe even say that for honorable because when we were doing honorable mentions. But I mean, that's like it's not just a Batman like a comic book movie. It's like the Heat. It's almost like that movie Heat with like the mob.
of crime.
Yeah, the crime. Yeah, the crime thriller. using like Batman. I mean, it's so good,
Yeah.
so well done. And then you got like Two-Face in there, which works.
Even that, yeah, and you wrap it up nicely. Don't leave a loose end there.
Yeah.
And that ultimatum at the end, the dialogue between Batman, Commissioner Gordon, and Two-Face at the end, it all works really well.
Even Scarecrow, they bring Scarecrow back.
Yeah, they bring him in at the beginning right there to give Batman something to do right away.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just feel like
That's a great movie.
Yeah, it is a great movie.
and the ending works so well. Batman has to take the fall so Joker won't win. That's compelling stuff. That's a villain winning, but you make it seem like the hero still won because
And Joker just got wrapped up and thrown in Arkham at that
Yeah.
point. Too bad
They
Heath
were-
Ledger, man.
Yeah.
He didn't. So in the movie, he didn't die. Did they show him going to Arkham?
No, he's
Batman
hanging.
catches him and
He's
hangs
hanging.
him up, and
He's
the
hanging.
SWAT team comes and gets him,
Okay.
and then he goes
Yeah, and
after
Batman has
Two-Face.
to take off once he
Okay.
figures out.
I mean, in that suit,
Jim Gordon, like at the end, knows what Batman sacrificed, but
Yeah.
you can't tell anybody.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The heroes have to win based off of a lie, which I think is, I mean, that's what Joker's game was the whole time. So you have the villain win, sort of like in Empire Strikes Back, where it's like, oh, they won, but you really are sitting there going, I think they just lost a little bit, you know? They
I love that
lost.
scene when Batman and Joker meet in the jail, and Batman's like, "Why do you want to kill me?" And he like laughs. He's like, "I don't want to kill you."
Yeah.
Don't you
And
get
that's
it? He's like, "You
yeah.
complete me."
Yeah.
Again, it's such a good like scene.
The
Yeah,
Joker's all over the place. That kept everybody intrigued too. Was the Joker? That's his origin. Oh wait, no, he's saying this. He's saying a
Right,
completely
yeah,
different thing
yeah.
here. He's turning around doing this.
It's the Joker.
Yeah.
Will that performance of the Joker ever be topped? That's the question. People like Joaquin Phoenix. I never saw that Joker movie. I refuse to watch. I'm going to put this out there to the Hollywood movie studios. I refuse to watch villain movies without there. I'm not going to watch Venom. I'm not going to watch Craven. I'm not going to watch Madam Web without Spider-Man. I'm not going to watch Joker. I know the first one was supposed to be like really good, but it's just not Batman.
It was
I'm not
just
going to watch.
taxi driver.
Yeah, I'm not going to watch like a Lex Luthor movie without Superman. Like I'm not going to.
Why would you?
I'm not going to watch
Why
these
would you?
villain movies. I'm not going to watch Clayface without Batman. It's like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
How could you get it so wrong?
Yeah, how could you get it so
Joker. No one's
wrong?
buying a Joker comic
Like, I
book.
don't
They're
care.
buying a Batman comic
Yeah.
book, so they're going to buy a
I
Batman.
don't care that
movie.
Craven fights Rhino and what's the Spider-Man fight Craven and Rhino? I don't want to see Craven and Rhino
Yeah.
fight each other.
Yeah,
Anyway,
how do you drop that ball?
Dark Knight is that's an all-timer.
Yeah,
Can't argue with that.
can't argue with that. I'll go with my number one. It's already been mentioned, Raiders Lost Ark.
Oh,
For obvious reasons at this
that's
point.
your number one of all time. huh?
To me, like you said, there's not a wasted scene, not a wasted bit of dialogue, not a wasted.
You know, we didn't talk about some iconic scenes. The plane fight. That's
fight.
crazy.
The whole
That would be a
movie's
real
iconic.
blade going around that they have
Probably
to
is. Well,
dodge.
that probably is. I mean,
And there's so much going on in that. Marianne's stuck in the cockpit. He's fighting that big burly guy who actually, I think he's supposed to be in every movie.
yeah, he is.
He fought, but
He's-
The sword, the
The
basket
sword.
chase.
Yeah,
and
he
then the
shoot-
dude
he
does that
shoots him.
sword and he just shoots him because in
Yeah,
real life Harrison
classic.
Ford was sick that day.
How about that?
The Well of the Souls scene, not even we talked about the map, but the Well of the Souls when he and Sala go down there. John Rhys Davies, is that how you say it?
Yeah.
Sala is such a great supporting character. Belloc is a great, the arc is the MacGuffin, but Belloc is like a great, and the way he's introduced at the temple in the beginning, taking the idol away.
Yeah. It's a great movie.
Yeah.
And when I left the theater, when you left the theater from that, it was like a whole different, because that was the first time that anything like that had ever been seen. Similar to Star Wars. When you walked out of the theater Star Wars, you're like, I have nothing to compare that to.
Yeah, I remember that's another great thing about Raiders is like I don't even know what the heck it was like because I remember there was like a Starlog magazine or something. And there was a picture of Indiana Jones like
On
in a
top.
desert. It's Harrison Ford in the desert, and I was like, "What's he doing? Like a stupid?"
We thought it was a
documentary?
We thought it was a
That's what I
documentary. The only picture we saw, I'll tell this story real quick because you brought it up. But the only picture, pre-internet days, the only picture we saw really was him on top when he was trying to push over that big statue in the Well of Souls.
Oh yeah.
Or is that?
Yeah, the Well of Souls.
Yeah. And it's a big
like
like
a cat-looking
Amon-Ra
thing,
cat-looking thing. We were like, is the special effects so bad that he's on top of? Is that thing supposed to be real? What is that? We didn't know. So Superman 3 came out at the same, or Superman 2 came out at the exact same time. Me and my friend Brian Runkle went to see Superman 2 because we were like, Raiders Lost Ark is stupid. It looks stupid. We don't even know what it is. Superman looks sweet.
Didn't Jerry go to Raiders?
Jerry went to Raiders, Brian's older brother, because he was a Harrison Ford fan. He goes, I'm just going to see what it is. And we were going to go, I don't know if we planned to go see 2 movies that day or not. So he went to
go back into Superman 2 again.
We were like, dude, Jerry, you got to come and see Superman 2. It was sweet. Dude, it was awesome. He's like, no, you got to come see Raiders Lost Ark. We're like, dude, you're stupid. We're not going. Luckily, he talked us into going because we went right again. We went right back into the theater. And we went and saw Raiders again. And we were like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Mind blowing.
Never forget that.
Yeah, it was great. It's
Never
great.
forget your first time.
No, yeah, that's for sure.
Seeing Raiders. I remember too.
Incidentally, I saw it 12 times at the theater.
Yeah, I remember like that was also one of the first movies that came out on like VHS.
Oh, really?
I remember like a girl in my class had it, and we're like, oh, we all gotta go over and like watch Raiders on like VHS.
It was a big event.
Yeah, because back in those days they had like streaming and all that stuff.
Yeah. So that's my number one.
Yeah.
Number one.
My number one kind of bounces off your number 2, except instead of the trilogy, my favorite movie of all time is Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Classic.
I love Episode 4. Same kind of story though. I can remember like I didn't even know there was going to be an Empire Strikes Back. Like I didn't read like the trade magazines or like
Star Wars wrapped up.
Yeah, it was over.
You know, now they have so many different
Vader
cuts.
flew away in that thing, but I didn't think about it as like a 7 or 8 or 9 year old kid. I can still remember like I was going to spend the night at my friend's house, and so I called my mom and dad. I had spent the night already, and I want to spend the night a second night. So like I called my mom and dad, and I was like, "Hey, can I stay the second night?" My dad was like, "Yeah, sure," but the rest of us are going to the Empire Strikes Back, and I was like, I started crying. I was like so upset, so like I told my friend, I was like, I'm not staying the second night. Like my dad, we all went to Empire. But then that summer of 1980, so I would have been 9. And this is crazy. Like I could never imagine letting my own son do this today, who's 12. But like I lived on 5th Street in Sandusky. I can remember like me and my friends like riding our bikes over the overpass to get out to the mall.
Oh yeah.
And that's where the theater was, where I think there's a
furniture.
furniture. Yeah, but I didn't really know where I just knew if you went down 250,
you're gonna run the mall.
And but we would go there almost like I remember like you saw Raiders like 12 times. I can remember seeing that like almost like every other day. I felt like riding the bike to the mall and like seeing it because there was 3 screens in the mall, and he would like just ride there at like noon or something, like watch it and then like ride home. I had to see it at least like 10 times just for that summer. And the thing for me, like New Hope, for as awesome as it was, you're like in tattooing, you're on the Death Star, and that's pretty much like it. You go to Yavin for a second, but like really like opened up and expanded the universe. So you felt like there was, it was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Episode 5, Empire, really made you feel like there was a bigger galaxy out there. Because then you're in Hoth, and you're like, oh, where's this at?
Yeah.
And then you go to Cloud City, and then you go to Dagobah.
Yeah.
And then you see, and it's like Raiders. There's really no waste. There's not like much wasted film. Like the whole chase scene, the Hoth battle, the Millennium Falcon going through that asteroid field. John Williams again, maybe the greatest film score he's ever written.
On the asteroid, Mike. When the Millennium Falcon is on the asteroid landed, that might be a slightly wasted scene.
He flies down into the thing.
Yeah.
Well, that what that does? It gives them a chance to get some time with Leia. That starts to build their love story a little bit.
All right.
It's the first time.
Yeah. They filled that place with stuff too. I mean, you're talking about Hoth. There's obviously the Empire attacks there, but before that, you deal with a Wampa.
Yeah.
You're riding around on tauntauns.
Boba Fett.
Yeah,
that was back when it was cool.
Yeah.
But even like the stormtroopers. This is one of my favorite designs.
Yeah,
the stormtroopers on Hoth with those weird like
snowtroopers.
Those are sweet.
Dude,
Snowtroopers.
I seen those as a kid.
Yeah, I can still remember like because the Death Star was huge, but then the Star Destroyers. That opening scene in Episode 4. You never forget when you have the blockade runner. And you're like, oh my god, that ship is freaking huge. And then the Imperial Star Destroyer starts, and it just like doesn't end. And you're like, oh my god. But then when you see, he's looking through that binocular out at the snowfield at the horizon, and you see just like the foot of it. You're like, what the heck is that little pod? And then like he goes up, and you see that walking, and you're just like, oh my god, like what is that? Like, it's gonna be hard to ever be surprised like that again.
Yeah.
Like, and if I'm like, because again, it's like I can go see Spider-Man fighting Punisher in a tank right now, and the movie doesn't even come out for like another year.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just too much. voiced this complaint a billion times on the show. They just show too much in the trailer.
Like, remember, like the introduction of
Nothing's
Yoda?
left.
You thought he was just like some little like
Some
lizard
little
thing.
creep
Yeah, you didn't know what he
walking around
was. And then all of a sudden he gets back there and you're like, oh my god, like this is like the Jedi Master that like Obi-Wan's talking about.
Whereas if that was a trailer today, you'd know that Yoda was. You'd know that
Yeah, that's
Yoda.
like a nice
you would
little
know that Darth Vader was Luke's father.
Oh, yeah.
From the trailer.
Yeah.
Luke, I am your father. Oh, trailer, sweet.
People
his hand
today,
getting cut off. Fine.
these young heads today,
Young
they're
heads.
never going to know what it was like in
be
1980
surprised.
when you hear Vader say,
contrary.
I am your father,
No.
and you got to wait 3 years not
On the
knowing Han's
contrary,
in
though.
carbonite, and you're like, oh my god,
Whoa,
is Han
yeah.
Solo dead? Is he in carbonite? Are they going to get him? Is Luke really Vader's father? Like, you had to like wait 3
But-
years.
literal.
But I would argue the Infinity War snap was that moment for this whole new.
Yeah, but you just had to wait a year.
But
And
you were
dude,
still like,
you still were like,
Spider-Man
what the
just,
hell?
Spider-Man just got dusted.
But did
It's
you
not
really think
frozen.
that they weren't going to bring Spider-Man back?
I had no idea. You don't know what
It
was
was
gonna
Spider-Man.
go on.
That's your flagship character.
But they
You know
already
that
ruined
they're
him. I
gonna
was
bring
like,
back.
dude, this might just be an end to this. You know what I mean? This might be an end to.
But
How long could they keep it up? Not much longer.
But I mean,
after
there was mystery. There was definitely mystery involved. They're like, how are they going to rectify this?
for Infinity War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they killed Thanos in the first 5 minutes. I was like,
So you like that?
that's unexpected.
So wait, you like that subverting your expectations, but you get mad when they kill Snoke in Episode 8. That wasn't subverting your expectations. For the
Use that subvert expectations. What they're trying to say is, I just suck as a writer, and that's what I came up with.
I don't want to sully or dirty talking about Empire Strikes Back, talking about The Last Jedi.
In the same breath. Yeah.
So, but anyway, I mean, but back like in those, like you didn't know was Vader like messing with his head? Was he just trying to get him over to the dark side? Is he really Luke's father? How could that be? That's when there was like still mystery to Star Wars. You're like, who is this dude? You didn't know anything about like Anakin Skywalker. I mean, you knew
thought
the name.
Boba Fett was bad, man.
Boba Fett, yeah. I can remember he was like that stupid holiday special, and you saw him as a cartoon.
But that was sweet.
But dude, remember the figure? I remember the figure came out before the movie, and I was like, oh my god, like what is this? Like, is the rocket on back? It's gonna be sweet. Because you're like, is he a stormtrooper with that like helmet? Like you didn't know. I mean, Han meeting in the carbonite. You're like, is he dead? Like, how are they gonna get back?
What's going on?
And then at the very end of Empire, when Lando talks about going to Tatooine and figure that he's gonna take him to Jabba. So, oh my god, it's gonna be like I could not wait for 3 years.
Yeah, you're like,
to get to Jabba's palace and all that stuff.
Such a sweet.
Yeah, so that's why Empire is my favorite of all three of them, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so much in that movie though. I was just thinking about Luke in the orange pilot uniform. For some reason, I like that. That's one of my favorite costumes.
Yeah, the
and that's what I was
snowspeeders.
talking about. Is they filled out so much of that world. How you said they really expanded from episode 4 to 5, making it feel like an entire galaxy. The rebels have this secret base on Hoth that they had to go to, and there's different creatures here. There's different uniforms. Even the stormtroopers come a little different. And then that battle on Cloud City at the end, the lightsaber battle. That's just sweet.
Vader's just like toying with him with
he's
like one hand. He's just like,
and Luke's just trying to get after him, man.
But there's
Nothing.
one point on when they're going out to that part where he gets his hand cut off that Luke's just like, really trying to go
and
at him.
that's when Darth Vader cuts his hand off.
It's
That's
like,
when
all right,
he's
enough
like,
of
okay.
that. Boom.
and then you also had that scene on Vader's the executor, the executor, that super Star Destroyer when it's right after the asteroid chase because Vader says you got to move out of the asteroid to get a clear reception. You see the Emperor for the first time.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, because you hear the Emperor's name in Episode 4. That he had dissolved the Senate, and you're like, the Emperor exists.
So there's
and then you
somebody else.
see this dude, this like dark
But then you
cloak.
saw Darth Vader without his helmet.
Yeah,
too.
for a second.
And you're like,
As a kid, that was crazy. I
Yeah.
remember always like wanting to see more of that.
Yeah.
Because it was scary, but it wasn't like
You
terrifying. You're like,
happened to him.
whoa.
And then you kind of you don't really see the Emperor's face, and then you finally get the payoff in Episode 6, where it's like, again, not to like bring the conversation down, people will argue like, oh, you like, because people are like, who the heck is this Snoke guy from like the Last Jedi? But see, with Episode 4, 5, and 6, you could make the argument, oh, you didn't know who the Emperor was, but you thought it was cool. You didn't know who Snoke was, and you think it's stupid. But like, by the time we get to Snoke in Episode 7, you've already got 6 movies like where would he have come from after 7 movies? You've never heard about this dude?
Yeah, it's just not this. Yeah.
I mean, you at least hear about the Emperor, in episode 4, and you know that he's kind of like
he's the guy in charge. Yeah.
He's Tarkin talks about him and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So there's just like so much mystery. There was like so much excitement.
You had so much story going on. You couldn't fit the Emperor in there.
Yeah.
Then we brought him in 5 and 6. This is how about a guy named Snoke? yeah, let's throw him in there.
Episode 5 we don't even talk about Lando. Like how
that's
like,
another great character.
Yeah,
backstabber.
You knew he had some kind of backstory with Han. Because he's like, hey, pirate, and then he says, what'd you do to my ship? And then you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Millennium Falcon used to belong to this dude?
They were so good at doing those little things too, where it's...
We talked about that one episode.
George Lucas probably doesn't even know what's going on, but he throws it in there, and now you have...
It makes it a story.
Or he left it for other people to do.
Yeah.
Like, you couldn't do that in episode 5, explain, hey, Leia, I played him...
But how they make movies now, they would try and have all this dialogue to explain that.
Yeah.
Whereas, the Clone Wars, your dad died from Darth Vader killed him in the Clone Wars and and chased down and killed the Jedi.
And then
you're like, wait, what are we talking about here?
Yeah, right. You want more of that.
Same thing here. It used to be my ship. That's it. It's not a throwaway line, but it's a line.
They made like almost a whole movie on it. Like a solo Star Wars show. But that's the thing. I think directors today are. Like back then, like they weren't afraid to leave you wanting more. Like they would say something like that, and you'd be like, "Wait, what? That used to be Lando's?" And then they're like, "On to the next scene," and you're like, "Wait, go back." To
that. That's pretty cool.
Nowadays, they would have to like, take a half hour to like spoon feed you.
Like you said with Jurassic Park, the dinosaurs are on the equator. All right, we got it. Move on. No, the dinosaurs are on the equator.
Yeah, we get it. Going back to the island. We know what's going on.
That could be another honorable mention is the original Jurassic Park. But anyway, so that's my number 1. Is
good choice.
Episode 5, The Empire Strikes
Do you
Back.
think...
Oh, wait, so we were done?
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you think... I have a question, though. Do you think there's like ever going to be a kid who doesn't know, who can watch Star Wars and be like, wow, Darth Vader is Luke's father?
I'm sure it actually
I
happens
feel like
all the
that's
time.
such an engraved part of everybody's
Pop culture.
mind now. Like, people just know that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't recall ever being, like, sitting there watching it and being like, whoa, like, that was a twist. I'm shocked.
It's such a cultural touchstone. You just kind of know.
Yeah.
That's like a argument that people debate, like, sometimes on the internet. Like, if you were going to say you find somebody that knows nothing about Star Wars. Like, would you show them
What
4,
order would
5,
you
and
show
6, and then go back and do 1, 2, and 3, or would you start at 1, 2, 3?
Well, my first question would be, why do they need to see all 9?
We're not talking about 7, 8, and 9.
I think you show them 3 or 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, because then you still get the surprises and like the suspense and.
Yeah, if you show them the first 3, you know who Anakin is and you know he's Darth Vader.
But you also, those are inferior films to the first 3.
Yeah, they'd get bored. They'd be like, oh, I'm done with this.
If you watch 1, 2, and 3 first.
Yeah.
If you really want to do it right, you would have to show somebody episode 4 and then make them wait 3 years. Don't find anything on the internet about it. Don't look up anything about it. Then watch episode 5. Wait 3 years. Don't look up to see if he's really Luke's father. No, but yeah, I think 4, 5, and 6 is the way to go.
You could always do 4, 5 prequels, then 6.
Yeah. You could do 4, 5 prequels, then 6. You could even do like 4. You could do 4, 5, 6, and then do 1, 2. Watch the Clone War cartoon, then watch.
That is the
3.
one Star Wars I think deserves to be added in with the original trilogy. The final season of the Clone Wars. Did you ever watch it?
Yeah, it's good.
Oh,
Like I'm not like a huge like animation. It's fine. I like it, but
I think
it's a good storytelling.
I think I like that Ahsoka character. She's one of my favorite characters in
Did you
Star
watch
Wars.
that show?
Yeah, I
What season?
Oh, not the live action one. I didn't like it.
Did you watch it though?
I watched the first season. I didn't watch season 2.
It hasn't come out yet.
Okay.
There was that was episode. That one episode was sweet
Anakin
with like
was
yeah.
cool. But I mean, that was you're banking on,
yeah
you know.
nostalgia.
But I think the final 4 episodes of the Clone Wars, the actual final 4, where she goes to Mandalore, she fights Maul, and in the background Order 66 is happening. I think that's really good stuff. I think when she's on the ship and the clones turn, and she like has to fight her way out of that ship, and then the final shot of it is Darth Vader showing up on that planet trying to find her. I really that show's sweet.
It's so funny that Darth Maul gets literally chopped in half in episode 1 and falls down this huge.
And he's back.
And then they like bring him back.
That's because he was so cool.
Yeah.
And you killed him.
See, if I was gonna redo the prequels, I would have Maul be in it until
Right.
I would have.
He would be the
Anakin should kill
Maul.
Maul to take over for him.
That's
You should have
fair.
Anakin be the same actor in all of them. You could have started episode 1. Should have been like.
It should
See,
have been
I
a
don't-
buddy film between Obi-Wan and Anakin, because when they finally fight, they haven't been
Together.
partners or
Yeah.
anything. It should have been a buddy movie of them solving some galactic crimes or something for an episode and a half.
Yeah.
Then he starts to change. So then when they fight, yeah, it's like whoa, wait a minute. It's like
You're hoping they reconcile with
Yeah.
each other.
I like episode 1 they almost could have done like a 1, 2, 3 and episode like Phantom Menace could have almost been like pre-episode 1, because I like to see like how else would 2 Sith have been able to infiltrate this whole galaxy full of Jedi just by themselves. Like I like Sidious or Palpatine setting up the trade war. Like
it's not good TV though.
yeah.
It's great
Save that for
novelization.
the crawl.
Or you maybe could have
Save that for the crawl.
Yeah, you maybe could have done something like we were just talking about, like how in episode 4, 5, and 6 they would like Obi-Wan told Luke, he's like, here's what happened. You could have maybe had like Obi-Wan tell Anakin be like, how did it even get to be like this anyway? And then Obi-Wan could have explained, well, Sidious did this and that, and maybe some
Maybe
kind
that's
of,
the
like, line.
opening action sequence. That's the dialogue over the two of them doing action. They're going after something that correlates to that dialogue. You know what I mean? So they're fighting and you're seeing them fight and you're like, wow, this almost seems too easy. These two are completely skilled and honed and trained together, that they're able to kind of have a leisurely conversation while successfully taking care of
Or
business.
could you imagine if episode 1 would have started with, instead of Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan and Anakin fighting Maul, and like Maul like maybe gets away or something like that. Like,
Yeah.
you could have had a sweet,
Yeah. True.
And,
He doesn't
and,
have a
and,
pull out
then, and
the
then they
door.
have to investigate where this Maul came from. Like, who is this dude? He is obviously a Sith. We thought the Sith were extinct. And then maybe they do like a buddy cop, like trying to figure out like where this. Yeah, and you know,
you got Anakin.
Yeah,
you
you
got
got-
Obi-Wan a little bit older saying.
And I always thought, like in the sequels, there's a thing in Episode 9 when Lando comes in and he talks about what he and Luke had been doing.
Oh yeah,
That's what the sequel. They were looking for some
How
like
interesting.
Sith crystal or something. They
Yeah.
were looking for that Sith thing.
The Sith
So, like,
Wayfinder
Luke-
or
Yeah, like Luke and Kylo Ren and Lando were like going out looking for those things. That should have been your episode.
yeah,
7.
no one in the right room goes,
Yeah.
oh, they would want to see this. Don't add that in. Don't put that dialogue.
That should have
in.
been episode 7. Luke
Yeah.
and Lando and Kylo Ren.
And then that spurs on the events of
Or, yeah.
whatever
Yes,
happens.
and then
Luke
you
and
could.
Kylo Ren.
Because I would imagine the Sith would be
And
after
then
that
Luke
too.
and like Ben would have been his apprentice, and then Lando, and they're looking for these Sith Wayfinders. Han and Leia are dealing with stuff like
Political. Whatever.
yeah, and then they get this. Maybe they get like a distress call that